Welcome guys. Well, this is a new filter that I just got. It's not new from the company. Tetra is an old company, been around for a long time. This particular unit has been in service for over 8 years. So I thought I'd buy one and have a good look at it. And a couple of things I've noticed straight away is this: 120 to 200 litres. Internal filters are not that powerful. This one has two sections, which I'm going to have a look at soon. And as you know from my channel, I do like a good internal filter. I've been doing a year-long test on many of the main manufacturers, and so far Eheim is number one, and number two is the fluval. But you know, we're still looking for contenders. And so let's have a look into it. I'm going to get the. This is the plus version, by the way. Not sure actually what that means, but we'll get it open. Have a quick look inside. On that note, I just thought I'd let you have a look at this. You can pause to read. And there's the different languages. You can always pause them. Now, looking from the unit itself, it sucks in from the bottom. So this is it's basically a powered sponge filter, okay, here and here. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use this second sponge. I'm probably going to put some filter media in there, probably some Eheim Pro Strat. I'll show you that in a minute. Anyway, let's have a look at this, and I'll get the box open. Okay, so this is the unit out of the box. It's quite a large unit. That's my hand. It's just over a foot or 30 centimeters. It has adjustable flow rate. It can go from 500 to 1,000 liters. It's also directional. The fluid comes in from the bottom. The water comes in there, drawn in here, goes through this, and then comes out the top. The actual impeller is behind this. I'll strip it down and we'll have a quick look at that. All you get in the box though is this: 4 suckers, reasonable quality, and a piece of tube for that. So because this does oxygenate. Now it does say between 500 and 1,000 litres an hour, which is similar to I don't know, the fluval 306 external. It's quite close to that. I wouldn't recommend this for that sort of flow rate. So if you're talking about 4 times, you're talking about 250 litres. I would say this is probably good for 125 litres. I wouldn't probably use it on anything more than that. Also, it's only a powered sponge filter. Okay, so my idea is keep this sponge, get rid of that sponge, and put biomedia in there. Probably something like Eheim Propat. I think it's called Pro Strap, something like that. Or something like the fluval ceramic media. That would probably be good in there. But you need small. So bio gravel from Eheim. Richard does a good Eheim gravel, which will probably be good in there. I'm going to strip it down and we're going to have a quick look at it. On a side note, these units come off like this. You just pull them, okay? And the actual unit stays in the tank. So in theory, you can take these off like that and clean them without removing that from the tank. So that's not a bad good. I like that. A couple of things I've noticed is the water comes in through here, okay, and in through here, goes up through here, then comes out through this piece here, and then goes up into here, and then gets back to the tank. So obviously you want to clean the water before it gets to the biomedia. So I'd keep that sponge. They're quite coarse sponges. I'm going to take them apart and see if there's a difference in PPI or pores per inch, and we're going to have a look, because obviously I don't want a too fine one, but then I want one fine enough to stop most of the particulates getting to the media. So I'm going to take them out now. This all comes apart literally. It's just, there you go, and then I'm going to take these out and we'll have a quick look at that. Well, they're both the same, and as you can see, they come slotted into this unit here like that, okay, and that slides back into the whole system there. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this, okay, because for me, even though sponge is a good biomedia, and you could run this without anything, you could leave it in your tank for years and years and years like this, okay, But biomedia has such a massive surface area, especially if you get a good quality like Eheim or Eheim. And I'm going to go and get my media out and show you what I use. And that is the bottom one. So the bottom one is going to stay sponge. Okay, and this is the Eheim stuff. As you can see, it's not really focusing on that. Let me put it down here. There you go, look at that. It's like the moon, doesn't it? That you can actually blow through. Don't know if you can hear that. Which means it's very porous. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there, and then we're going to see how that works. Just a quick side note, there's the little pieces of foam, which are tiny anyway, okay, but I would recommend using this, and this will stop any of that getting up to the impeller. So I'm going to put that in and put this in. Just let you know, you don't have to break this. This actually comes apart, as you can see. That comes off of that, okay? So what you want to do is discard that, just use the lid. There you have it. Now people are going to ask why I didn't fill it right to the top. That's because there's two holes here. I didn't want it falling out. Now it has added quite a bit of weight, so I'm just hoping that the unit can take it. So I'm going to put it all back together. Just on a side note, when you put the suction things in, it's best to do it without the media units in, okay? So they go into these holes there, there's two there. Okay, so once I've slid the head unit off, as you can see, these are now in. So what you do is you put them through the hole in the back and then turn them 90 degrees, and they are now fully secure. You can actually leave this whole unit, this, in the tank without taking anything out. But for cleaning, you'd want to take this off, and that just slides back on. I'll show you in that in a second. In fact, I don't know if I can do it one-handed, but basically like that, it goes on there, yeah? And that's the unit back together. Now, pros and cons so far. Pros is that it has a clear section, so you can see just how dirty that gets, which is I like. The suctions really should be a bit bigger. The cable should be a bit longer. I like the idea of the flow and the angle, so you can literally adjust it accordingly. These little things aren't really man enough, especially for a 200 litre tank. 4 of these, no, sorry mate, that ain't right. Okay, so I'm going to get in the tank, we're going to fire it up. Now, as you know, I've changed the other tank around, my examination tank, which has got a load of fish in it at the moment, so we're going to put it in there. And just to give you the heads up, I'm going to show you what I've done in the other tank. So that's the Eden. It's still going strong, but there's hardly any flow coming out of it now. It blocks up every 3 weeks to the extent where it just stops. That is the Eheim, which is still going strong. Unfortunately, the Sickie or Psych, whatever you want to call it, S-I-C-C-E, literally just falls apart all the time, and the sponge filters have died. So we're going to keep an eye on those. Now, I'm leaving the sponge filters in there because I'm going to try and fix them later on with a few little tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. And there's all the fish. Now, this is just my quarantine tank, which is like, it's got a bit of porthos there and what have you. So let's get it set up in there and we'll have a look at it. That's it in the tank, and it's nearly touching the bottom. Now we're going to try the flow. I've put that screw in there just to stop the air for a minute so we can get a good idea of noise. Right, let's go and turn it on. Well, first thing I've noticed is it has to be completely submerged. Now that's on its lowest flow, which you can see is quite tame, but let's push it down a bit. There you go. Just from a surface agitation, I would say this is very good. I'm not sure it's 1,000 litres an hour. What concerns me is it's now sitting on the gravel, and as you know, sucking up all that stuff from the gravel is not great. I mean, you should be gravel vacuuming anyway, but so now it's underwater. Let's push it down a little bit more. That's it. Oh, well that ain't great, is it? Okay, so that is the impeller cover. Let's just come off just by adjusting it. Let's put that up there. Let's now have a look. Wow, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to have a look what went wrong there, because I'm pretty sure that's just the guard for the unit itself. So that's a hell of a flow, as you can see.